have been sitting here waiting very impatiently for this to arrive. This is the new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette, and I'm so excited to open this up and see what we got. Okay, so this is what our package is looking like, very much like his other palettes. This is the second Ethereal Eyes. The first Ethereal Eyes I never picked up. It never really spoke to me. Don't know why, because it does look very, very beautiful. But when I saw this one, well, this is definitely way up my alley. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I'll bring it up close so you guys can see. This is like right up my alley. This color story is just exactly what my heart beats for, you know? It is so beautiful. It has everything I love in here. I love that we have these cooler, darker grays, blue, which I love. I love a pop of blue, sucker for blue. And then these gorgeous shimmers and a metallic shade, I think, over here. And then over on this side, kind of separate on its own, so you can, it's really defined in the palette. We get a little bit warmer. We get a little bit warmer and a little bit lighter and a little bit more everyday and wearable. So, I gotta really think about what I want to do with this. But first, let me quickly swatch them for you. Starting from the top row, they're numbered EM1, 2, 3, 4. So I will swatch row by row and I'll call out the numbers. So let's begin with 1. 1 is a satin cream. 2, oh my gosh, look at that. 2 is a shimmering opal, but it looks to have a little bit of blue in there. A little bit of blue I can see. 3 is a matte mauvey brown. Oh, let me do that one again. I love this one. Oh, it's so pretty. 4 is a metallic slate. Ooh, that is gorgeous. So this opal shade right here seems to be more of like a lighter topper type shade, and this metallic slate seems to have more opacity and base to it. All right, let's move on to the second row. 5 is a matte gray beige. Oh, I love that one too. 6 is a shimmering bronzy gold. Oh, I love that too. 7 is a shimmering taupe. 8 is a satin cool gray. 9 is a matte warm brown. 10 is a shimmering golden gunmetal. That's very, like, very toppery kind of shade, not much base to it. 11, oh, this one I can't wait. Oh, this one is a matte midnight blue. They're very creamy. That's a gorgeous color. It's not too blue, but we'll see how it translates on the eyes. And finally, we have a matte black. That is black. That is a black. So there we have all 12 shades swatched. They swatch beautifully. They really do. But let's see how they translate on the eyes, because that's where it matters. All right, let's get down to business because I cannot wait to try these. Here's the thing with a color story like this or tones like this. My eye is drawn to them. These are the colors that I absolutely love. I love them, but sometimes they look so different on me because I have a neutral but warm leaning complexion. And so sometimes these cooler grayer shades, they don't look the same on me as they do in the pan. Not always, not always. I do have a bit of a tan right now, so that, you know, goldenness might be coming through and might clash with these. I don't know, we'll see. I really hope not, because like I said, these colors are my jam. But let's just get started. I'm gonna start, because I don't know how they translate on my eyes. I'm gonna start with the lightest shade in here, EM1. And I just wanna see how dark that translates to my eyes, because that usually happens with me. No, it's okay. Like, it gives me like a little bit of a shadow, like a barely there shadow, but I think it's safe to go down to number 5 for my transition shade. This better be a great palette because it is pricey, I tell you, pricey. See, this one is much darker, but I love it. It's looking a little bit grayer on me, which I suspected, than it does in the pan. So if you look at it in the pan, right here, it does have a little bit of a grayer undertone, but it looks much warmer to the eye, to my eye. But on my lid, it's looking great. But it doesn't bother me because I love grays and blues and all the cool tones, but it's deceiving. It's deceiving, but I know that always happens to me, and that's why I go in with caution and, hope for the best. So this is a very pricey palette. It is $68 US and $92 Canadian. Yes, we always get shafted. Don't ask me why. It's not like our wages are higher. Ugh, it's just so disturbing as I blend away here. Okay, so this matte is going on very, very creamy, very easily. I'm applying a very, very light hand, but it's blending gorgeously and I have no complaints, but it looks gray on me. It looks very, very, very gray. Let me see, mirror from hell. Yep, that's gray. That is gray. So keep that in mind if you have like a neutral, warmer leaning undertone. These might translate a little bit gray on you, and that's okay, as long as you like those types of shades. Oh, I love it. Can't remember if I mentioned I was using a RèPHR number 15. Now I'm going to grab a RèPHR number 1 brush, and I want to see this warm brown, if it actually is warm on me, but I want to deepen the outer corner, and I love using the RèPHR number 1 for that, a shade EM9, and tap that on there. See, much more neutral, and not as warm as I thought. Pigmented. Be careful how much you pick up. I barely touched my brush in there. Oh, I touched it again. I shouldn't have done that. Just be really, really careful. I'm going to flip this over and start just diffusing it a little bit. I don't want it to go all the way in. I want to keep it to the outer part of my eye. But here's the thing. This one I could definitely use as a liner if I'm going for, a taupey brown moment. I can use that. Or if I wanted to define the lash line even more, because I assume that that black shade, based on the quality of these mattes and also based on the swatch that I did, that these will go on for miles, and they're very, very dark and pigmented, and you could use either or for a liner. But for now, I'm just going to use it as my shadow. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm going to go into EM7. I'm dying to get this on my eyeballs. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that. Oh, gold. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm just going to try not to get any fallout here. That's stupendous. That is so pretty. Oh my God. Actually, now looking in the pan, I think I was going to add a lighter one in the inner corner. The only lighter one that I think would work if I wanted to go the shimmery route. If I wanted to go matte, I could go into this. But other than this one has a bluish, very cool shift to it. And so I don't think that would, do a great job of matching up with this look. So I think I'm just going to stick to this one. I wanted to use as much as possible though. Let me see. I'll continue on and then I'll decide. This is it's just so beautiful, and it's not enhancing any lines or texture on my lids because those are becoming problematic for me. We'll try and get as close to the inner corner as possible. This is gorgeous, just gorgeous. So it does have some base to it, but it's like twinkly. That's how I'm going to describe it, twinkly. This, to me, I mean, I've been taking my time because I don't know what I'm getting, and it's my first time using this palette, but this is a very, very quick eye. When you don't have much time, it looks like you spent hours on it, but this is, oh, it's so beautiful. I really hope this is coming through on camera, like just how pretty and sparkly and gorgeous this eye look is. You know what, just for funsies, I want to see what this opal shade right here would look like in the inner corner. I have a feeling it'll throw it off, but I just want to see how these all work together. RèPHR number 26, just dipping in here. It's not a very small pencil brush, but it's pointy, and so I can get into the crevices on the inner corner. Just want to brighten this up just a little bit more and see what happens. It does have this blue shift to it. but it seems to work. Okay, so looking in the mirror from hell, I have sprinkles of beautiful sparkle, but not where I want it. It's all over my cheek, all over my cheek. So please keep that in mind, that especially that opal shade, it's very, very loose, and you will most definitely get fallout. Not sure if I wet my brush, but I don't want to do that. I just want to see how they work on their own. So like I said, despite the fact that this is much cooler than the center glitter shade that we used, number 6, it's all working together and looking beautiful. I'm going to grab a clean RèPHR 14 and I'm just going to dance around the edges here just to diffuse and make sure we don't have any harsh edges. I do want to line my upper lash line, so I'm going to grab a small angled brush. This is from MAC, but the number has faded away. It's so old. It's so old. But it'll do the job. I'll try and find which one this is and I'll link it. And I'm just going to stamp along the upper lash line carefully. I knew this would work well as a liner as well. Do I want to stick with the brown? Yeah, I do. I want to stick with the brown because I think I'll do 2 looks today and I'll go, you know, black and smoky and use that blue on this eye. So I'm going to stick with the browns on this eye. But I do want to make this brown just a little bit darker on my lash line. So I'm going to dip into that brown and then I'm going to pick up a little bit of the black as well and make it a darker brown. There we go. That's better. Do a little, oh my gosh. I have more fallout. More fallout. Okay, you have to be super, super careful. Super duper careful. Really careful with this. Oh, that's a shame. I'm gonna grab a RèPHR 03, this tiny little pencil brush, and go into number 5 again. That was our transition shade that we used. And I want to add just a little bit to my lower lash line. I haven't cleaned this up yet because I don't know how much more fallout I'm gonna get from this. I just want to tie this in, but I don't want it to be as dark as the brown that we have on the upper lash line, and I'm not going to bring it all the way, just 2/3 of the way. Wow, that really stinks. That really, really stinks. I think it's the black. I think it's the black shade. I look dirty. Oh no. Oh no. Tell me I'm going to have to take this all off and redo this. I would have to. I would definitely have to. Okay, I'm going to finish this eye with some mascara, and I'll be right back, and we'll get to this eye. I think I need a shield. I need a shield. Oh no. All right, so I made that even worse, and you know, it is what it is. It looks like I have a bruise under my eye, but we're moving on and we're gonna do something a little smokier, I think, on this eye. We'll see where it ends up. I'm gonna grab a RèPHR 14 and I'm gonna go into this shade right here that just looks so good. It's shade number 3. Definitely gonna tap this off. I move my mirror to this side so that you guys can better see what I'm doing, hopefully. But it's my left eye and my right arm, so I don't want to block what I'm doing, but hopefully you guys can see. And I am getting a gray again. This is a mauvey matte, like a mauvey brown. And I'm just gonna get this in the crease and just above the crease. Again, the mattes are performing beautifully. It's just this fallout situation. I'm not finding it with this shade. Like I said, I think the culprit is either the brown or the black. Again, this one's looking a little bit gray on me, but not as gray as shade number 4. But this one has more of like a rosy mauvey undertone to it. I really love the way this one is showing up on my eye though. I can't wait to use this blue, tapping in here with a RèPHR 01. And I'm going to be super duper careful where I place it because these mattes are very pigmented. Okay, so this isn't like a bright, bright blue. It's aptly named a midnight blue, which I love. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. That really floats my boat and frosts my flakes, you know? Am I getting fallout? Hang on. No, I am not getting fallout. So just tapping, tapping, tapping into place. I want it to stay pretty saturated and where I want it, because I don't want to take this all the way across. I just want to deepen the outer corner with it. I love the way this is laying down. Look at that depth that we have out here. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to grab a RèPHR 28, a flat brush, and I'm going to go into this shade right here, this slate gray, number 4, and I'm going to place it on the center of my lid. This is the one shimmer in here that's not like a loosey-goosey. It's got a lot of base to it and is truly metallic and works beautifully with that midnight blue. I am not seeing a big differentiation between the matte midnight blue that we have on the outer corner to this one in the center. So the base seems to be very, very close, and all you have is that added metallic with this shade, if that makes sense. It's very seamless, very seamless. I want to go to, where do I want to go? I think I'm going to go into this shimmering taupe number 7, and this one I'm going to start placing on the inner part of my eye. So much dust on my desk. This is a little messy. It's a little bit messy of a palette, I gotta tell you. But I'm loving the looks I'm getting from it, so I may just be okay with that. Next time I'll try wetting my brush, but I don't want to do that today. I just want to see its full capability without that. That is gorgeous, but what I want to do is add a topper to the center of the lid. With this one right here, number 10. This is a shimmering golden gunmetal. And let's tap that on top and see what happens. Yeah, that brightens it up and brings out the blues. Even though this has like a golden shift to it, they really work well together. All right, I love that. I am so tempted to use that opal shade. I love that opal shade. So, okay, so I put this on top. Now I think I want to add just a little bit of this opal shade with that blue shift, just a touch at the base of the lashes, just right there. That's it. All right, what do I want to do? What do I want to do for the inner corner? I think I'm going to brighten the inner corner. I'm going to try this matte, this shade number 1, and see what happens. And if I don't like it, then we can switch it up. This is, I don't know what this is. HUDA? It's a HUDA beauty brush, double-ended brush. It's got a little flat brush on one side of it. So that's all my brushes are not clean. So I'm grabbing what I have. Just add this. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I didn't want to do sparkly. You can definitely add that opal shade if you want sparkle on the inner corner, but I kind of wanted to keep this one matte and keep all the fun sparkly stuff on the outer part of my eye. But of course, you can do whatever you want, but that's doing actually a really, really good job of brightening the inner part of my eye. Let's see if I can use all the shades in here today. I'm going to go into this matte gray. This is number 8, and it's a cool satin gray. Same brush because it doesn't matter. And I'm going to attempt to do my lower lash line. Not all the way. Just, I don't want to bring it all the way. Just going to concentrate on the outer third. Bring that all together. And do I want to do liner on this eye? Do I? Yes, I think it's called for. I'm going to grab a RèPHR 29, the teeniest, tiniest, tiniest brush you've ever seen. And I'm going to be so careful with this. I'm just tapping it into that black. Oh yeah, black. You should see what's coming off of this when I tap it. I am doing this. I do not want all that fallout. But it's hard to do. It's hard to do it this way. It really is. All right, screw it. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be. I can't do that. I thought I might try it, but no. It's just awkward. Stamping on, and I want to keep this liner to the very outer part of my eye. Get a little wing, like a baby little wing with this. bring it back. And then I'm only going to line to basically the center of my lid and try to keep it as close to the lash line so that you can't really tell when this begins. I have a hard time with that sometimes only because my eyes are aging. They're aging and I'm, the skin kind of moves on my eyeballs, which really is annoying. So I have to be even more careful than I have ever had to be before. And that's why using little tiny, teeny brushes like this and just taking your time and stamping is the best way to go if you have that issue. I just noticed that some of this kind of transferred to my lower or my inner waterline, and I am dragging this along and it's working beautifully to line my waterline. That's, I'm telling you, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. These are so pigmented, and it's not irritating my eye in any way. And I think we're done. I think. Let me take a look. Wow, that's an eye. That's stunning, stunning. I think I'm gonna clean this brush off, this little RèPHR brush, and I think I'm gonna dip into the dark brown or the darkest brown in the palette, and I think I'm gonna do it in my waterline on this eye as well. I've never put shadow here before, but it was a happy mistake. Okay, I am going to put mascara on this eye, and then I will be back with the final looks, and we'll go through what I think about this palette. Okay, everything is all done. I've zoomed you in so that you can take a final look at each of these. This is the smoky side. I love that blue. I love this look. And let's take a look at the sort of lighter side on this eye. Let's ignore the fallout though, please, okay? I adore both of these looks. I do. I'm a little bit mesmerized. All right, so what are my final thoughts on this palette? Well, let me tell you, it is pricey. Okay, and it is a limited edition. The Sephora sale is coming up. It's starting on November 1st to the 15th for Rouge, and then I think for VIB and Insider, it starts on November 5th. So it is available at Sephora right now. If you wanted to wait to get your discount, I would. However, it is limited edition, so I don't know. I didn't want to take the risk. I also wanted to review it for you ahead of the sale and in a timely manner. So it's totally up to you what you decide to do if you want it. His first Ethereal Eyes palette was limited edition also, and it did sell out. They did bring it back, I think, last year for a limited time, and then it went away again. So, sometimes limited edition isn't necessarily limited edition, but I don't know how many he's produced. I don't know how many are available. Just have that information and know that it will go away at some point. I think the formula in here is really great, really creamy. He describes them as suede, which I think is a great description of them. They're extremely pigmented. They go on easily, blend themselves. They're extremely pigmented. So just know that going in that you're going to get a lot of color payoff right off the bat. These do not have to be built up. His matte formula in the Master Mattes, the neutrals, and the original one, those ones you kind of have to build up a little bit. They're a little bit drier. These ones they are definitely creamier. They go on very smoothly. They do not emphasize any texture on my lids, which I really do appreciate, especially now that they're wrinkly. I think the color story is beautiful. It is the perfect color story for me. I love all of the shades that are in there, and I think that it's quite versatile. I think you can get it as smoky as you want, and you can keep it, light and airy if you want. You could even just go with one of those toppers, those sparkly shades, and just do a little crease and then just tap that all over. And it's just so beautiful. I love the looks that I created today. I think they're wildly and drastically different. And you could even keep this to a matte look for sure. Why wouldn't you? So it really is versatile in that way. And I do appreciate that about this palette. Like I said, you can sparkle it up. you can keep it matte, you can smoke it out, you can keep it light, whatever you want, you can do with this palette. It is a good size too. It's not a humongous palette. There are 12 shades in here. I think is more than enough. I really love this palette. However, the one caution that I will say, as you saw throughout this video, is how messy it is. It is quite messy. I'm sure you're not surprised that I'm going to be calling this out, is the fallout. The fallout is, especially with that black shade, as black and black as it is, which I do appreciate that because it's truly black, there was a lot of fallout. I was much more careful on the smoky eye with it and made sure to tap. And you know, it was much better on this side, but even the sparkly shades, there's a lot of glitter. There's a lot of glitter happening on my face. So I would definitely 100%, if using this palette, do your eyes first. Literally, you know, if I went in blind and didn't know this, I would have to remove everything and just start over. So that's annoying. And we don't want to do that because we spend so much time on our makeup to make it look beautiful and perfect. And so you don't want an eyeshadow palette coming in and ruining it all. So just keep that in mind. I know that if I'm ever using this palette, especially that black shade, I'm definitely doing my eyes first. Some people don't like to do that. So that might be a big deterrent for you if you definitely are someone who likes to do their eye makeup after everything else is done. So that is the one drawback that I would say this palette has. But other than that, I really do love it. I love it. It's beautiful. I love the color story. I love the formula. Everything's gorgeous. And I'm loving my eyes today. That is it. That is all for this video. I really hope you found that helpful. As always, thank you so very much for watching. Please do consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and hit the like button. That really helps me out if you like the video. And also the bell button so that you're notified every time I do post a video. I am receiving my Natasha Denona RÈPHR palette later today because I got notification of it, and I paid for express delivery. And what do you know? I'm getting my palette one day later and I don't have to wait 2 weeks for it. So I will be able to review that palette for you in a very timely manner. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit the bell button so that you know when I upload the video. It should be in the next couple of days, depending on what time it gets delivered today. I may just wipe all of this off and get started on the Natasha Denona RÈPHR